Hi, everyone. My name is Heather Graveline. I work for Connecticut Family Support Network, CTFSN. I am the Northeast Support Coordinator. And today I'm here to talk about Charting the LifeCourse material, which is a vision for a good life. If you look online, there is a lot of tools. It's a very large program, but there are 2 sheets that can help you kind of hone it in and get it done much more sufficient and easier and focused. So today we're going to go over these 2 sheets together, and I'm going to give you just a couple of ideas. This does take time. You do want to think thoroughly about what you write because this is goal-oriented plan for the individual. You can take these sheets, hole punch them, put them in your IEP binder, your PPT binder, or you can take them to doctor's offices, community providers, and say, can you either help me collaborate on this plan, how to make it better, or this is the goals that I have for my child, or these are my, as a self-advocate, goals. How can we make this happen for me? So we're going to start with the this side of the page, which is the star chart, I like to call it. Personal strengths and assets. Just a couple about my son. He's compassionate, loving, funny. He is great with nonverbal body language. He understands almost everything, and people don't seem to think that he has a lot of competence. So because he doesn't speak with words, he uses an iPad. They don't always see that, but I see that he communicates very well with other ways. He's very good at problem solving. If he wants something, he's very determined. So you want to take some time when you're filling this out because, you're really making a goal here. Sometimes things are not going to just pop out in a list as fast as I'm saying them. You might have to really think, about each one of these categories. The next one is the light purple, which is relationship based. So I have that my son needs more friends and family. He needs definitely to see more people. He needs to be out. He needs to grow meaningful relationships. So when you're thinking about relationship based, do you need more opportunities for making relationships? Do you need them to be more meaningful? Do you have friends? Do you have family that's going to support you? Do you need to mend relationships that might be strained? So those are all areas of how do we have a great life? Because we all want people in our life. We all want to be liked and supported. The next piece is eligibility specific. So this one is different for everyone based on level of need and financial status, things like that, or what is in your area. So for eligibility, you want to look and see if there's any waivers or grants. Your health insurance, do you qualify for a different health insurance or a level? Some health insurances just started covering nutritional services and gym memberships for free. I didn't know that. Financial programs, do you qualify? Are you low income? Do you qualify for heating assistance, housing, financial food assistance? My son qualifies for the Community First Choice program because we are Husky A family. They come out and do an assessment, which then gives a level of need, and that helps me get respite services. He also qualifies for DDS services. So those are his eligibility and special education for public school. So you really want to look into what you have in the area. I live in a very rural area, so there might not be a lot of services, and that kind of moves me into the community-based piece, which is the dark purple area right here. We don't have much around here, but for community, what he needs for a great life looks like he has music therapy now. He does go to recreational camp in the summertime. He likes to go out in the community and be around people. We have done Special Olympics. if there is not programs in your area for this part, really consider finding others that want to create something in your area to get together and find your tribe, right? Parents getting together, families, self-advocates, try to create something if it's not there. Go to local places like YMCA, see if there's social skills groups and things like that you can access. We do have to sometimes drive pretty far for services in my region. But you definitely want to know what is out there to create your good life. The next piece right here is pink, red, technology. So that looks very different for many different people because in 2020, everyone is linked and hooked up to technology. Some people are going to use it for, they might need assistive technology, like they need an adaptive piece of equipment, like an adaptive food spoon to eat, or a shirt that has adaptive buttons, or something for the car. You really need to think about it in a whole. It doesn't mean just electronics. And then for the individuals who do need electronics, like my son, he uses an iPad to speak and he has a talker program. So we need access to Wi-Fi. We need to make sure his programs are all updated. I need to learn those programs too. And I need to be able to teach everyone in his life how to use his talker program with him so that he knows and they know his language that he communicates with. We also use low tech, which is like we use paper visuals for schedules around the house, words. I also kind of have a smart home here in my house. I have invested money into getting cameras. So each room has cameras here. Outside has cameras in case my son elopes. And we also have a Facebook portal, which we just got about a month ago now. And if you have Facebook Messenger, you have family and friends, it's basically, it looks like a rotating picture frame. And he can go up to it. It's a touch screen. He points on whoever's on there for their picture, and he can communicate with them just like this through like video chatting. And it doesn't matter if you have Android, Apple, it still works together because it's through an app specifically, and the camera follows him throughout the house so that someone can see his full body language and they can see his talker. We have the app, so when we leave as parents, we can check in and see how they're doing when we're gone. That gives us a little bit of peace of mind. So you also might need to have some alarms in your house, whether they are from sounds or if you can see them flashing and things like that for safety reasons. That's basically the star chart in itself. The other side is this blue bubble, what people like and admire about me. So if you're filling this out as a self-advocate or as a parent or a caregiver, that, it depends on who is filling this out, because you might not know what people think about you as a self-advocate. But if I'm filling this out for my child, I can say what I admire about them, and it's kind of easier. But if you're a self-advocate filling this out, or you just don't know, you might want to ask some people what they admire about you. This yellow piece is what is important to me. So for my son, I put friends and family, Wi-Fi, his iPad to talk, and it needs to be charged. Exercising is very important, even though sometimes he might not want to, but that's, also when you do this, it's like kind of meshed together, how to best support me. So that is like, we need to get him outside exercising. He needs time to relax. He does like to stim. I do give him that time. He has fidgets. He likes holidays and traditions, and he loves routine. He also needs time to communicate with you and patience. And it's very important to him to go every day out in the community and do something. He will let us know when he is ready to get in mom's band. So this is that first page. And we are going to put the link up underneath this video for you to find these pages. The next part is for you to reflect. So right here is the past life area. Okay, so review the last year's goals and activity. What didn't work? What did work? Okay, right here. Then this is the future ones. List the goals and activities for the upcoming year and the experiences and the obstacles that you do not want in your life. So if you have a pattern of behavior or you can't keep on track, you're going to put these things here to kind of keep yourself in check with this. And this is the bubble for a vision for a good life. List what you want your good life to look like. My son's, it's kind of messy, but I don't know if you can see it. So I have housing. My focus for my son is for him to have independence. And we're constantly thinking about, okay, how can he live with having a smart home? How can he live with having staff with him in the day and the night? We actually created an apartment sort of in the basement for staff to live with him when he's older here, and we might live somewhere else. So we're constantly thinking about what that's going to look like for him when he's older. The next piece, I have a bunch of people, because I'm a visual person, I guess. I like to draw. Is people with hearts. So he needs people that are supportive and caring. And the next one is a money symbol and a job. I really want him to have a job. After doing this life course materials, I really, decided I need to find a creative way for him to have a job. There's not many resources in my area. So for him, I'm trying to look at what his interests are and what he is so good at that we can work off of that to create something for him, maybe as being self-employed. So we might actually get a food truck for him. And he has a lot of food allergies. So we might do a food allergy friendly food truck because he likes to do a lot of baking with me. And that's something that he will do with assistance. School and education, assistive technology, his talker, he needs that, but he needs to have fun, have hobbies, and have enjoyment for having a good life. And the other thing, because we live in a very rural area, is transportation. We need to have good transportation for him. That's something that is very challenging in the Northeast corner. And we sometimes just have to depend on health insurance, transportation, or a lot of it is like Uber and things like that, or a taxi service. So, and that can be scary to think about, or using public transportation. So that would be, a goal that would need to be really looked at. So this red bubble is what I do not want. So for my son, we don't want people that don't fit for his personality. We want people that understand. We don't want people that don't have patience, because he needs a lot of patience. He needs a lot of time to process and then communicate something. We do not want him in seclusion. We don't want a lot of hands-on, unless it's positive. And we don't want him being lonely. He doesn't want to be lonely. And he doesn't want people to give up on him. And quite frankly, we all need a cheerleader, and we all need someone to, get us motivated to do our best and to be our best version of ourselves. And we don't want someone that's going to be the opposite of that. We don't want anyone roadblocking or hindering our great life. So that sums up this program for the pages, and we are going to post the link underneath. Take some time, don't rush through it. Sit down with some other family members or some friends and do it together. I definitely have hole punched mine. I brought it to my school district. I have brought it to my son's pediatrician and said, okay, this is really my vision. How can we work through it? Every year I plan on doing that with my son's school team and any services after that. Sometimes, right, these papers can just sit in a binder and they're never looked at again. That's what we don't want. Okay, that's another thing we don't want. So I tried to do this as an activity based for parents and caregivers and providers to look at other ways. How do we make this just not something that just sits on a shelf or in a binder or gets lost? We really want to keep the focus of this plan moving forward. So I decided to make a vision board. I filled this out for myself because I really said, all right, this is a goal on how anybody can have a good or great life. How can this work for me? So I made a vision board like this. You know, I actually found and cut out all of these, but a good life, best life, it's about me, I'm number one. So I keep this on my wall. I'm going to do one every year. I'm planning on doing one for my son's plan. You know, these are my goals. I want to travel more. I want to have date night, things like that, exercise. These are how I'm going to do it, right? I'm a tough cookie. I'm pretty smart. So I need family and friends, and I need relationships in my life to have a good life. So however you can take this plan and actually put it into something that you're going to do every day or something you can see. I prefer it to be right here on my wall. It could be a list. It could be something on the refrigerator. It could be on your screensaver on a cell phone. But try to come up with a creative way that it doesn't just become something that you don't use. Because this has to be our focus every day, is how do we have a great life? How do we have better mental health? And how do we support each other? So if you have any questions or if you need help with any services or doing this plan, please contact CTFSN, Connecticut Family Support Network. Our website is www.ctfsn.org. We have coordinators throughout the whole state of Connecticut in different regions. And you also can find this link below and on the DDS Department of Developmental Services website, or if you Google Charting the LifeCourse materials, it will come up. So I hope you found this video useful. Please check out our other videos. Thanks. Have a great day, everyone.